Hello, good evening, students. So, today we have somebody very special with us at our channel. We have Captain Durga, who's a renowned photographer with a specialization in mother and child photography. Captain Durga was an army officer for 5 years, and after she hung her uniform, she reverted back to her passion, which is photography. Welcome to Education View 360, Captain Durga.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Right. So, Durga ma'am, first of all, to begin with, please tell our audience in brief about your journey from a uniformed soldier to a photographer.
Ma'am, I have always been a photographer since my college days. And even during my army training and army days, I was known as, the photographer. And once I finished my short service, I started my career in photography. My name is Durga Chincholi, and at present, I'm a newborn and a family photographer, currently located in Pune, and I travel all around India. Ma'am, my journey started in 2018 when I hung my uniform and I wanted to pursue this career full time. And in the start, I used to think this is going to be easy, but I was in for a ride. And I realized after having experience in corporate and Indian Army, this can be achieved. How hard can it be? But I was in for a ride. The moment I stepped in, I realized the photography field is vast. There's n number of fields which you need to specialize if you want to take it up completely seriously. And when I started off with the fashion field. And in some time, I realized that my calling was newborn and family photography. And then I started doing tons and tons of courses. I realized to a certain extent, you can learn yourself, but a major chunk is required for you to learn from a pro. So I invested a lot in learning my skill, practicing every day. I must have put around 10 to 12 hours of studies every day from last 3 years. And even now it's the same. And ma'am, I would want to help the other students who want to pursue photography through certain part of this. So the artist journey, what others would be going through is photography, your whole product, like which college you can go, which workshops you can attend, and then what goes on behind a normal photo shoot. It is not just clicking a photo. There's lots of work which goes on behind it. And then is the business and the marketing part, which is 80% of it, and certain challenges which all you'll be facing, and you'll be able to face it better when you know what you're in for. And what can you do right now? If you're 16 to 18, what can you do right now to have a successful profession in photography? So, ma'am, I'll be just starting quickly with the types of photography right now.
Right. So, if you can, in very brief, describe the difference between each type of photography, just a one line.
A product photography is where you see in newspapers and televisions, where you see a product. It can be a shampoo. It can be food. Even food photography comes into product photography. A product photography itself goes into divisions of various ways of doing it, like a lifestyle way of doing it, a documentary way of doing, a completely high-end setup. So, and travel photography also includes documentary photography too. Travel photography, you see a lot of photographers being the night geo photographers, and this is everybody wants to pursue this, and it is exciting and doable. Trust me. Wedding photography, you click weddings, lot of hard work goes into it. There's a team which is required to do wedding photography. Fashion photography, you can that is self-explanatory. It is something where every one of us starts, and everyone wants to get into it. And photojournalism, where you can see in newspapers, there's articles on it, where or any event happening in the world. Photojournalism goes into that. Nature photography. This also covers wildlife photography. It can be even macro photography. You are interested in clicking insects. So even that is possible. And over here, it is important that what you're passionate about, you need to monetize also. So that is where I am here today to help you do that.
Right.
So there are certain colleges in India which are providing photography courses. Personally, I have not able to do this, but I would wanted to go to Life and Light Academy in Uti, which was my dream. But with things not turning the way it is, I am self-learned plus, and I have done tons and tons of workshops, attended lots and lots of courses, which is available right now for everybody. But whatever you learn is just the 10% of it. 90% is where you practice. You practice every day. What students usually face problems are the moment they learn, they want the end product to look like a pro product. It's not going to happen. There is going to be a certain gap, and all of you will overcome it. And the only simple solution is practice.
Right.
Ma'am, any questions on this,
I
please?
think you're doing well. Please go on.
I'm sure all of you already know what goes on behind a photo shoot, but a lot of people feel it just with the camera, how to click, and there you are. But as a photographer, as a photographer, you have lots of responsibilities with you. If there's a fashion shoot, there's a lot of things which goes behind preparing it. First is a location prep. So you see, whatever product you have, it can be a nice dress. What goes on behind it? You need a perfect location for it. Can it be a studio? If it's a studio, what all props? How would you go about styling it? And if it is outdoor, the location, which location would go? Like for this shoot, which I've done, I wanted to catch up the personality of the model also. So I chose Charminar and I wanted to frame it accordingly. So, and then there is styling where I need to ensure that the dress is done up perfect and it is going hand in hand with the location. Lights, believe me, at times we use five, six, eight lights. At times we use none. We use just a normal, natural light. Prompts. Prompts are basically, as a photographer, we need to tell the client, tell the model where to look, what to do. Okay, and we have to make them extremely comfortable. And for boys out there, you have to respect the model. You have to respect them utmost, and they can feel the vibe. And only if you're going to be a pro professional, they're going to be completely relaxed, comfortable, and open to work with you. Otherwise, your reputation would be at stake.
Right.
And next is the wardrobe. The wardrobe, we have proper stylist well working with us. If not, then the photographer has to do it. Makeup artist works with us. We as photographers, we need to know the poses. Um, the guy photographers do not mind actually modeling and showing the model how to do it, because end of the day, we want our product to be perfect. Post production, 80% of what you see an image goes into post production. It is editing, hair editing, skin editing, the colors has to match. It is interesting, but it takes a lot of time. Certain beauty products, beauty shoots take up 4 to 5 hours per product shoot to be edited. So it is interesting. And next is legal contracts. We have to be very careful when we come into working with models and clients. We have proper legal contracts signed with them of the any discrepancy of the amount, how to get paid. So you have to be very, very careful. And if you practice this from the start, it's best for you. And then there's something called a model release. You have to be very careful from the start. If you're taking any model's photograph, placing it on a social media website, you need to have a proper contract signed by them. Ma'am, any questions on this, ma'am?
I think it's very clear, Durga. Please carry on.
Ma'am. Now comes the not so interesting but very interesting part at the same time.
Very important,
That
I
is
believe.
business and marketing. Believe me, at the start, we all want to just do what we love. We want to just keep clicking. We want to practice what we have learned. Very interesting. But if you want to start earning out of it properly, you want to be showcased in front of your ideal client. Your ideal client can be anybody. It can be a newspaper editor. It can be a fashion brand. It can be a newborn mother, a new parent. So for every photographer, ideal client is different. So business and marketing is 80% where you put in an effort to be seen in front of people. And when you have like a proper official firm running in. If you do not wish to do this, you can always work with a production house. You can always work under somebody. But recommendation is once you have experience of working under somebody, start having your own firm. Instead of being known for somebody else, like I want to be known as, this is a product of Durga's. Snuggle Diaries is my baby. So I want my name to be out there and I want to be remembered for that. So, a business setup, I'll just give a touch upon what happens. And to be really frank, I wish somebody had told me this. And having my experience in the army with the management, I have utilized that over here. So, a business setup is where you get your company registered, you get your domain, the name which you choose has to be, if people are able to relate to it. A professional email ID, simple as that. Pricing. So, pricing, let's just say next down the lane after 2 to 3 years, you're already beginning to shoot people. You feel you're good. It can be anything, it can be a product, it can be babies, it can be nature. How do you do the pricing? So, I'll give you a simple structure. What we do is we calculate all the expense. It can be software, equipments. It's a lot of expenses going. And then second is we calculate how much of salary you want to be paid to yourself. Your
Right.
business is separate. You as a photographer, you're working for your own firm.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much you want salary you wish to be paid. Okay. And then how much of amount you want to keep reinvesting into your business. Expenses are different, reinvesting is different. So then you divide into how many shoots you can do per month or per year. And then, ta-da, you get your pricing on one session, how much you need to charge.
Right.
Believe me, a lot of pro professionals also struggle with the pricing aspect. And it's out there. You not compare yourself, just believe in yourself, work hard, practice, and you will reach that level. Contracts, there are a lot of lawyers out there who help you with contracts, which you need to be keeping ready with you. Copyrights, you need to know an image which you click. It complete copyrights are with you. A client only has certain rights which you give them. So that's how you charge people more. Business card out there, infrastructure. It depends on what niche and what product photography or wildlife photography you get into. And then you build your infrastructure like that. I get a lot of questions that when can we buy the professional camera? When can we buy this camera? I just tell people wait for it. You have a lot of expenses in your future. Buy a basic camera first, learn, keep learning. And this is one of the sample images I've used. This is using a very simple non-professional camera which I clicked from.
Wow.
And now I know that even if you give me the simple and the most basic one, I can do the pro work. So
Wow.
learn. And only when you have aced your basic camera, then you know ki, which other advanced camera shall I go into? Because these professional cameras cost you in lakhs. And everything nitty gritty needs to be known to you that what, don't go with what others are buying. Go with your instinct that this is what I require. And then there is a very interesting part called branding. As a photographer, let's just say you are Karan Photography, Karan.com. Okay. Current photography needs to have a lot of things in picture. A logo, a brand. What is a brand? The colors which you use. So you need to go into details that if I'm using red, I need to use red everywhere. Is red suitable for my client? Will they like it? So branding, a professional graphic designer will help you. If not, there are a lot of websites which help you do your own branding. Next is marketing. Ma'am, any questions with business setup, ma'am?
I think I'm good with everything except the infrastructure part. When you say infrastructure, do you also need a physical infrastructure in terms of having a office or having a setup where you display your things?
Ma'am, it is preferable that you have an office, but these days there are a lot of co-working spaces which are available. So when you are having a business meeting, it is preferred to have a business setup. But now with co-working spaces, you can just hire that, and it is much better and possible. Which showing like I have a lot of frames and photo albums which I prefer showing it to the client. I just carry it along with me. And if I'm unable to carry anything big, I take a video of it to show it to the client.
Okay, that's a smart way of doing it to begin with, I think, to cut that.
But if people are having even fashion studios, there are a lot of fashion studios available for renting because a lot of money goes into infrastructure. And at the start, maybe for the first 5 6 years, hire whatever is possible, hire. Even a professional camera can be hired,
Right,
lenses can be hired. So only when you get your hands set, you know, this is what I would really require, and I can buy them.
right. Thank you so much, Durga.
The next is marketing. A lot of thing goes into the marketing. What is marketing basically is how are you able to be seen in front of your ideal client? These days, let's say somebody wants a product shoot. They go on Google. Are you visible there? They go on Instagram. Are you visible there? They go on YouTube. Are you visible there? They are on Pinterest. Are you visible there? So these are the very crucial questions you need to ask yourself. Am I visible to my ideal client or not? That's it. And why do we do advertisement? Why do we pay for it? Is if I pay today 50,000, I know I can make it up with two clients. So if there are 50,000 impressions, all I need is 50 clients for me to get my money back. And
That
I wish somebody had told me this. I had to figure it out myself.
you said
So
it's a self-learned
learn from others'
person.
mistakes. Ma'am?
I said you already said that you are a self-learned person.
So next is blogs. These are the other source of income where we generate income and also be seen in front of your ideal client. If it's a newborn photographer, example me, what would a soon to be mother search? What blogs would she search? And I need to be visible there. And blogs is also a certain way you get traffic into your own website. It, let me just touch upon it because it goes into detail. And then next is social media. Today, if I only show up on Instagram showing my beautiful images, not many would appreciate. They're like, yes, it's a nice image. What next? What more do I provide to them? What more interesting facts and figures do I provide to them? So I need to keep it very entertaining, very interesting for my client to interact with me more. And whoever are my followers, they need to turn into a paying client. Then there's next something called a lead generation. A lead generation is a lead generation is when a possibility of a client to be turning into a paying client. That is when we use the word lead generation. This can be through anybody. I can tie up with an influencer. I can tie up with an actress who can promote me, and then there's a lead generations happening. So again, you go into nitty-gritties of it and you can learn. Next is content strategy. How do I portray myself out there? People need to know about my story. People need to know who I am. And especially with being a family photographer, newborn photographer, parents need to feel yes, she's warm, she's a mother herself. And if it's a fashion photographer, they need to know this person is professional, extremely talented, decent, and etc. So every field what you get into, the content what you produce out there on your website, on your YouTube channel, on your Instagram, needs to be able to connect with your ideal client. Ma'am, any questions on this?
Perfect. You're speaking I think, the truth which the audience and which the students need to know, and they have to be ready and be prepared for that. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing your insights. Yeah.
Wow. Next is the challenges. There are a lot of challenges each and every one of you would go through. And if not this, is something else you might go through. And I believe the more you are ready, the more you accept that these are the challenge I would be going through, you're better prepared. I would not want to discourage you. It's just that I want to prepare you that yes, it is possible. You will overcome this, but these are the tiny glitches you'll be facing. First is the equipment expenses, which I've also told you how to overcome it. Higher, higher, higher. Avoid buying until it's completely necessary. Like now, I'm comfortable that I need not hire anymore. I know how to use my equipment. I know the budgeting of my own company. So now I can buy them. So in the start, I would actually hire equipments. Course expenses. This is how much you are okay investing. Invest all you have. Earn money. Have a side setup. Go earn more pocket money. Work at your home. Do everything possible. Invest maximum in your courses because knowledge is out there. I'm telling you guys, you are so lucky that if you even type on YouTube, you have tons and tons of material. But yes, there's a free material and then there's a paid material. It makes a lot of difference. Go for the paid material. Start learning from the pros because they go in depth, and then you start practicing it. And it's never, you should always have a feel that I'm a beginner. Even now, I do courses like I'm a beginner. And
Definitely.
then there's a learning curve. Learning curve also goes hand in hand with what you charge. The image quality, the emotion, what you have, for me is emotions. The fashion would be how perfectly you're getting it done, how creatively are you getting it done. So learning curve is always there. If today Sabyasachi is Sabyasachi, there's only one Sabyasachi.
True.
So, and I am glad that when somebody sees my images, even without a logo, they know it's mine.
Wow.
So your aim to be having that learning curve is to reach a place where you have your voice, you have your feel to it. And when you see your work, you should feel happy. So the learning curve is there, and then there's a gap in middle. Your work might not seem up to the mark, up to the standards. Don't be disheartened, keep practicing. Within a year or two, you will reach there. And then this next is studio setup. Like I do not require a studio setup, but if you're a newborn props photographer, you need a studio setup. If you're a fashion photographer, you need a studio setup. So again, how do you overcome it? Hire studios, and every city has different pricing. So if you feel that, I do not have the budget to hire a studio right now, go do outdoor shoots, hire lights, basic lights, learn about them. Okay, the next is legalities. Again, be very, very careful on whom you're shooting, how are you shooting them, and you need to take certain people's permission. So even when I have my client, I ask them, are you okay with me using them on my social media? Are you okay with them on being on my website? You have to respect the other person's privacy utmost. And if they are not okay with it, respect it. Please remove it. And first of all, do not put it up if they're not okay with it. Okay, lot of legalities. And if you're out there doing a travel photo shoot or any strangers, be very careful. You need to take permissions. Okay. And the next is peer comparison. We all go through it, even the pros go through it. We compare each other's, this person's work is better than mine. Maybe I should follow that. And then there's a trend following happening. Or maybe this person's work is much, much better. Maybe I should westernize it. Maybe I need to Indianize it. The rut of peer comparison and trend followers will be throughout your career, throughout. And if today Lucky Ali is Lucky Ali, A.R. Rahman is A.R. Rahman, Please understand, they did not copy somebody else. They concentrated within, they concentrated on themselves. And if you're artist, if you're painting anything, just concentrate on yourself. I know it is difficult, with wanting to earn more money and everything. The money will flow. You would be surprised when clients start paying you. Trust me. So just concentrate on your work, your voice, your way. Ma'am, any questions on this, ma'am?
No,
This is I think very important.
I think you said it all. On one side, when we have peer comparison, on the other side, you countered it by saying that comparison will be there, but it should not be an intimidating factor for you to forgive or forget your own originality.
Ma'am, but yes, in the start, maybe you need to imitate somebody's work. Do not do it and put it out there. Imitation is required for you to learn that can I exactly produce this? It is just in the start. You try to produce that and then you let go of it. Then you start relearning it. Please remember that also. We all get inspired by other photographers, other people's work. It is okay to be inspired, but it is very important to be authentic also. And because you see there are 10 photographers in India, maybe, who are original, who are themselves, and then the 1,000 people following them. You be the trendsetter. Let people follow you. You'll feel good.
Right.
For the students right now, with budget constraint, with time in your hand, trust me, you have lots and lots of time in your hand. What can you do right now? Would be learn basics. Learn basics. You can start with YouTube for now, but save up that pocket money what you are getting and start buying courses. And if you do not have a camera right now, take up your phone, go on the manual mode of it, learn how to use the manual mode. It's very interesting. What is ISO? What is shutter speed? What is f-stop? It'll take you a lot of time to learn that. So learn that. Next is study of light. Photography is nothing but study of light. This is with all genres, with every type of photography. Photography, the way, how does the shadow fall on somebody? How does the shadow fall on a product? So next time, if you're interested to pursue photography and you're not sure what to do or which to pursue, start looking at magazines, start looking at newspapers. See, how's the product? How's the shadow falling on it? If it's a mother and a child or a couple also, see what emotions are they evoking, you know, because it is beyond just an image. It is, you are trying to evoke an emotion inside somebody. Okay, do courses, save up. Yes, take up a part-time job, save up, because you'll need a lot of money on this. And I would also want to say before I close this session is, we all have other source of income, which is important for you to know. Our one, we never keep as one source of income of earning from a photo shoot. Imagine a pandemic has happened, how are everybody surviving? So we have our incomes flowing through monetizing our blogs, monetizing our website. What does it mean is, the more people visit our website, we put up ads, so we earn from it. Second, we have referral programs. So if people buy the camera which I recommend, I get a certain part of it. We take up courses. I'm planning to take up business and marketing soon. So that's how we learn. And then we even teach photography. We learn from that. And then even we write articles. A certain part of being a photographer is you need to write. Believe me, the more you write, the better it is. You need to interact, you need to write emails, you need to send quotations to clients. So develop your communication skills. What can you do right now is do all of this. Okay. And you, the whole part of a client experience matters from the start to the end. How can I make it easy for my client? How can I make it a journey, a beautiful journey for them? It is not just beautiful images, it is a memory which I create for them. It's for fashion, it is the beautiful product is being shot where the client need not have any hassles. And I understand them, I listen to them. So it's a major of part of your work, no matter which genre you pick up. So work on every other aspect and have concentrate on other source of income too. Ma'am, I think I've wrapped up on this. Any questions, ma'am?
Thank you, Captain Durga. It was definitely a very candid insight that you shared with our students. And not
Thank you.
only the pictures that I loved, but I also loved the understanding that you had about the students, bringing out the facts like that at this moment, at this stage in life, they would be juggling with finances, but they definitely have a lot of time up their sleeves. So, children, please gear up. Whatever Captain Durga has given you the advice, you can save up on your earnings, or you can have additional earnings, save up on your pocket money, take up courses, use your mobile to your advantage, use the time to your advantage, and take the first step if you are sure of that this is your passion and this is your calling. Captain Durga, thank you so much for your time and for all the honest insights. I'm sure you're going to really help a lot of students.
Thank you, ma'am.